Warning, the following podcast contains spoilers, and Dave and I start a fight club.
We watch the We watch the
Hello, everybody.
Can I just say, I can't believe you actually said you're not supposed to talk about it. That's the whole fucking point.
I broke the first rule.
And the second.
What did I
Just
break
saying.
the first rule of, Dave? What did I break the first rule of?
I can't tell you.
Oh, you got me. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Watched a Thing with B. Dizzle and Dave. I got my gusto back, as you can hear, people. My gusto is here with me.
Fucking what?
And we are here to talk about a movie. And we were meant to do two movies, but I was slack, didn't get around to the second one. So instead, we're going to throw in a countdown at the end because it sounded like fun. But let's start off with Bottoms, which is a 2023 American satirical teen comedy film directed by Emma Seligman, who co-wrote it with Rachel Sennett. It stars Sennett, Ayo Edebiri, Ruby Cruz, Havana Rose Liu, Kaya Gerber, Nicholas Galitzine, Miles Fowler, and Marshawn Lynch. And what is it about, Dave?
Gender fluid lady teens decide to start a fight club to try and hook up with the hot chicks in the school or something.
That's pretty much it. This movie has been raved about.
This is the new Superbad.
Yeah, it's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics and like 96% from audiences. I've seen numerous people whose opinions I very much respect calling this the best comedy of the year and one of the best teen comedies in years.
People are loving this.
So I went in with really, really high expectations. I know that you were really excited off the back of the trailer.
The trailer was really, really fucking good. And very funny. I think I convinced you to see this.
Yeah.
I'll apologize later.
Cards shown. Let's get into it then.
I can't help it.
Well, I may as well show my cards too. Yeah, I did not love this film. I have to say, my expectations were really high. I think it's a fine movie. I certainly don't think it's the best comedy of the year.
No.
I can think of one time that I laughed in the entire movie. I don't think this movie's that funny.
I definitely laughed more than once, but I do think this is bizarrely just getting very unwarranted plaudits. It's not great. It's almost every laugh out loud moment is in the trailer. The trailer, it should get the awards rather than the film. The trailer was great. The film was a huge disappointment.
I really wanted to like it, and I think that it has an interesting premise that could have led to some good comedy moments. I really like the cast. I'd like to see these girls, particularly our two leads, one of whom wrote it. I'd like to see them do something else, but I felt like structurally the film was not written well at all. I think that the plotting is really all over the place. Like I said, I personally didn't laugh. And I just want to take a moment to, I don't often do this. Like, we're talking about one movie, I don't want to praise another movie. I just want to know where all the people talking about Joyride this year are, because that to me is the best comedy of the year. It's the best raunchy comedy of the year. It's the best female-led comedy of the year. And I don't know.
Joyride. Have I seen that?
Nobody did, and I don't know why. It's about two young Asian American girls who go on a trip to China, and one of them, who was adopted, kind of ends up wanting to meet her birth mother, and it's
sounds like a riot.
It actually is. It's easily the funniest movie I've seen this year, and it's much like this, very raunchy, very female driven. It's got heart, but we're not talking about that. I just wanted to take a moment to say, go see it, people, because
Billy doesn't hate female-led raunchy comedies. He's
I
just
don't
told
like
you
this
about one that he likes.
But let's talk about this film then. So you're saying that you didn't even like the leads or the premise or anything in the end.
I didn't like Rachel Sennett.
Okay.
And she's the one getting all the love. I've seen reviews saying, "Oh my God, the world doesn't deserve Rachel Sennett." I was like, "Well, I know I don't." I found her character just completely lacking in any redeemable qualities. And I know she's meant to go on this journey of redemption, but she's so, well, to me anyway, completely hateable for the entire film.
Yes.
I didn't find any redemption. I just didn't like her, period, and I didn't want good things to happen to her. I thought she was terrible.
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Given that she wrote her own part, I don't have much hope for her as a writer either.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't dislike Josie. I thought Josie was a perfectly nice character, albeit a little bit boring, maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought she, Io Edebiri.
Yeah.
Apologies. I thought she was perfectly fine, but I did not like Rachel Sennett at all. And given that she's probably the preeminent of the two protagonists,
she is.
That's a big fucking problem for your movie.
I know what you mean, and I think this leads to my biggest problem with the plotting of the film is this is easily the most predictable movie I've seen in years. You know from the moment it starts what's going to happen. You know the structure. Like it's essentially a sports movie where, you know, halfway through something bad happens, the team goes apart, they get angry at each other, and then by the end they have to pull together. You know where it's coming the moment the movie starts. And I think you're right. I don't feel any deserved redemption from her character at all. I quite like the final scene where they're beating the shit out of the footballers. I think that's probably the most fun
of this movie, which is all over the fucking shop.
I think it's probably the most fun scene in the movie. The only time I laughed was when they're egging the dude's house and the weird girl sets the bomb off under his car. And she's like, "It's gonna blow." That's literally the only time I laughed in this entire movie.
I weirdly, because I'm the one slagging it off more, I did laugh numerous times. The funny bits were very funny.
Yeah, okay.
But they had just utter boredom between them.
Yeah.
Overall, this movie I found incredibly dull.
Yeah.
For a comedy, that's the death knell. The few funny scenes or funny lines, and there were several, were very, very funny. Yeah. And they were all in the trailer. There was nothing that surprised me watching the film. Everything that was funny, I was kind of waiting for it. There it was. Okay, now I'm stuck with this fucking tedium until the next funny bit.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you found it that dull and it's only 80 minutes long. In fact, it's probably even shorter because the final 7 to 8 minutes is credits with bloopers and stuff in them. I think it's probably only about
which
70.
Also weren't funny.
No, I think it's probably only about 75
Don't include bloopers if they're not funny,
long.
Directors. There is no point unless they are funnier than the film. They can't even just be as funny. They need to be even funnier than what goes in the film, or don't include them.
Yeah.
It's just painful.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that the other problem for me, like you said, it's dull. The movie does, at a certain point, try to inject quite a bit of heart. But like you said, I don't particularly care about the characters, and it becomes very soppy very quickly.
This film, tonally, is the equivalent of James McAvoy's character in Split.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, on the one hand, it's a clever comedy, or attempting to be, a la something like Pitch Perfect. It's also a teen gross-out comedy, a la like a Van Wilder or something, or not another teen movie, anything like that. And then it takes this fucking bizarre left turn into John Waters' sort of dark surrealism in the final act, where you literally have people being butchered and murdered.
Yeah.
And it's treated surreally because there are no repercussions for the fact that they slaughter this entire opposing football team.
Yeah.
The movie is just a mess.
I actually wonder if part of it is, I don't know, are we getting too old, Dave? Like, is this a movie made by...
No, I don't think so. I think this will be borne out when we get to our countdown after this review.
Yeah.
That we're not. It's not us. I just don't think it's a well-written film. I think
here's what I mean.
The inexperience of the writers comes through in the inconsistent tonality through this entire film.
Yeah, but here's what I mean. I wonder if to a certain extent this is a film made by Gen Z for Gen Z. And by that I mean like the TikTok generation. And I use TikTok every night. I have no problem with it. But what I mean is TikTok does that thing where tonally it shifts. You watch a 7-second comedy video, you swipe, you're watching a 3-minute cooking video, you swipe, you're watching something else. And that's a little bit like what this movie feels like. I feel like
I don't think
that's
an
kind
excuse,
of
though.
no, but I think that if that's what the film is going for, because a lot of films do that these days. I felt that way about the Mario movie. I wanted to like it. It's so
Yeah, but the
frenetic.
Mario movie just wasn't very good.
It's so frenetic, though, and it's the same way I feel about all the Minions movies, which for some reason are hits with young people. It's so frenetic. It's like watching ADHD on screen.
They are genuinely not good, and they are banking on the fact that their target audience are literally pre-tweens.
Yeah.
Who don't and no fault to small children. They haven't experienced enough of the world to develop a discerning palate, and it is just cascading. That's like critiquing Play School for being puerile.
But it feels a little.
They
bit,
are what they are.
It feels a little bit like
the audience for
ADHD on
this are
screen,
old
and
enough to know better and old enough to be discerning. And there are films aimed at that age group that I think are just infinitely better written. I don't think this is a well put together film.
I agree.
I think it has it has some good ideas. There's not a lot of originality, as you pointed out. It's literally pitch perfect, thrown in a blender with Fight Club and fucking Mean Girls and any number of other things. There is not a single original beat in this
But you know what?
film.
I think the
and
idea...
then there's this dose of Heathers at the end with a bit of sort of black comedy.
The thing for me is that the idea of blending all of those films together, while not original, I think would lead to something fun and funny. You know, it's something we've seen before. You take the idea of blending Fight Club and Mean Girls. That sounds good on paper, but I just don't think this was executed well. Like,
no, because it feels like it's written by committee. Each
yeah.
scene is rather than the whole thing being sort of a melange of Mean Girls and Fight Club and Heathers and everything. It's like each scene was given to a different person, and they were. It's like names out of a hat in what was the Drew Carey whatever the fucking comedy game show was.
Oh yeah, whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it? It's like names out of a hat. It's like
you
need to do a scene about this, and your theme is Mean Girls. You're doing this scene here, and your theme is Texas Chainsaw Massacre or whatever. And that's why it doesn't work. And I think I do think, and I sound like I'm being horrible to poor Rachel Sennett, who I'm sure is a lovely girl, but I feel it's the inexperience of her and Seligman that they haven't managed to pull together what on paper is an intriguing premise.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's disjointed like that.
But the fact that it is, I agree. I think it comes off very clearly as inexperience. So, look, did I like this movie? No. I'm happy that other people are liking it though, because she's a young girl. How many people actually go through with it and make something? I've pitched TV pilots before. They've made it all the way to executive producer, and I haven't done anything with them.
Yeah. My hat's
at one
off.
point I was like, I'm going to shoot this and I'll put it out as a web series since it didn't get picked up, and I never did.
I'm interested enough to go and see, and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. They did do I think together, but certainly Rachel Sennett did a film prior to this, which I haven't seen, which I'm keen to go and check out because, as you say, they got it off the ground. She's starring in it and writing it. Emma Seligman's written it and directing. My hat's off to them, and it's not a piece of shit. Well, I know we're kind of slagging it off a bit. It's not bad. It's just not remarkable.
This is my problem. I think a lot of it is expectations. Had I seen this movie maybe 3 months ago,
the trailer did it
might have
favors because the trailer is
not just the trailer, just the reaction. Like I said, people that I genuinely respect and trust their opinions, and I'm not saying that their opinion's wrong. Some of those people think this is the best comedy of the year, and I'm glad they think that. I don't.
It's hard not to say they're wrong because I've seen better stuff, and objectively, I think it's better.
Honestly, I think what we watched last week, Saltburn, is a much stronger comedy than this.
Oh God, let's not mention them in the same sentence. It seems unfair.
So yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't think this is a bad movie. I'm a 5 out of 10. I think it's a perfectly average, adequate film. I didn't hate my time watching it. It's short. I just don't understand the talk around it and the buzz around it, and I don't know. That's my issue.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I gave it 2.5, or I was going to on Letterboxd. So yeah, 5 out of 10. I will shout out though. One of the few shining lights is Marshawn Lynch as Mr. G, the teacher that kind of
they rope
in to guide their little fight club. I think Look, apologies. I don't know if he's a professional wrestler or a professional football player. He's not an actor. He's some sort of sports in inverted commas if he's actually WWE. But that's where he comes from. And I thought he was kind of a shining light. Most of the funny moments in this film are down to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hats off to him, if no one else.
Nice. All right. Well, let's do a countdown, mate, because, you know, people have been saying this is one of the best teen comedies in years. Let's do our top 10 teen comedies just for funsies.
Yep.
How about I kick it off? And
yeah, please, because I've got a bunch of badly scratched names. A chicken walked in ink and ran across a bit of paper. I need to decipher as we go.
Well, I am going to kick us off with a film whose director is going to make several appearances on this list because I'm just a massive, massive fan. And I'm starting with Pretty in Pink as my number 10. John Hughes, classic Molly Ringwald. Oh, it's also on yours.
Of course, it's on my.
My list is about 40% 80s, 40% 90s, and I think maybe a couple of early 2000s thrown in there for good measure.
I have very little 80s, and I know I'm going to be kicking myself for over a number of these that I haven't thought of because I did a little bit of Googling.
Yeah.
But I've been very busy boy this week and I haven't researched as much as I normally do. So I will have a lot of regrets at the end of this top 10, I'm sure.
Well, Pretty in Pink is one of those movies that I love. I wrestled between this and 16 Candles. But you got James Spader. Yeah, like it's
everything with Spader is automatically better than anything without Spader.
It is. I love John Cryer in this film as Ducky. I'm a big fan of this.
And Pretty in Pink's Andrew McCarthy, isn't it?
It is. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, see,
Thin Lips.
Much as I would love to claim that my 80s spirit animal as I was growing up was Judd Nelson, the reality is it was Andrew McCarthy and always was.
Well, there you go. That's my number 10. Pretty in Pink. Over to you, mate.
And fucking tastic psychedelic first theme song too. So
yes.
Thanks for checking the column for that. We haven't talked about this, but I'm going to put this up for a vote. So I'm going to not put them in order, and I'm going to steal this one early on.
Dick.
And it's another John Hughes.
Oh no, which one is it?
It's the best one. It concerns a disparate group of students.
Yeah,
who
that's
are
my number
forced
2.
to give up some of their weekend for detention. And it is The Breakfast Club.
Yep, that's my number 2. I love this movie.
This is, I think, probably my favorite John Hughes film. And like you, I'm a big fan. He's such a big part of my childhood and growing up. But I just think the premise of this movie is pure genius.
Yeah.
And I think, without getting too soapboxy, I think this movie did a lot of good in terms of showing how different cliques of students or kids can get along and find common ground. And I think it's funny. It has just an inherent coolness to it.
Yeah.
But I think the emotional weight of this film surpasses all of his other works. I
agree.
I think
it's
something special.
I think this is his most poignant film, and it's ironic that this is one that honestly he barely wrote. It's like almost entirely ad-libbed, which I think just shows the strength of the cast that he put together.
There's a reason that all of these guys went on to long, impressive careers, because the sort of quote-unquote Rat Pack were not just a random collection of whatever actors could be found. They were some of the best of their generation.
Definitely. Yep. All right. That's my number 2. So my number 9 is another 80s classic, and I know that you'll think this is a controversial pick because we had a discussion where you said you weren't counting college films. I am. This is National Lampoon's Animal
I threw
House.
that out the fucking window when I started going through.
It's a teen movie. There's boobs. There's... I love this movie, and when I think of teen movies, this is always one of the first ones that pops into my mind. Just the scene where he is up on the ladder watching through the sorority window.
You bastard! Faber College? Are we at Faber College?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Animal House. I love this movie. This is gonna sound weird, but this movie reminds me of my dad. I watched it.
Cunt again. Now you make me feel old as well as stealing my thing.
I watched it with him when I was young, and this was a favorite of his. But I love this movie, Animal House. Yep. All right.
This would have been my number one. Whatever.
Right. You're number 9.
All right. What else can I steal from you?
I'm still going to put them on my list. Yeah. I've only got 10, so I'm not changing
double ups.
anything. It has to be.
No double ups.
We didn't agree
You're
to
not
that,
allowed
mate.
to say anything I say and vice versa. All right. So my number 9 then is an Alicia Silverstone film.
Oh, you dick. Yeah, this is my number 5.
Oh, I thought it was going to be number 1. Now I'm feeling sad about picking. Yeah, obviously talking Clueless. Yeah. We've spoken before about our mutual love of this and what incredibly fantastically clever,
one of the smartest written
modernizations of sort of a classic novel. It is. It's literally Emma with modernized dialogue, but the entire plot is beat for beat. It's so smart and so funny and so clever. And Alicia Silverstone is just a fucking delight.
Yeah. Easily one of the best comedies ever made, in my opinion. Not just teen comedies. It's so smartly written. Topher and I famously, when we reviewed the most recent version of Emma, I think we ended up renaming that episode Emma/Clueless because we spent most of the episode talking about Clueless.
That upsets me for obvious reasons, but I agree with the Clueless love.
All right, my number 8 is, I don't know how you feel about this movie. I don't think we've ever spoken about it. But it came out, in my opinion, during that height of the resurgence of teen movies that happened in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm talking about Can't Hardly Wait.
I'll cross that off my list.
Oh, it's on your list too. Excellent. Fantastic cast. Jennifer Love Hewitt at her prettiest. You've got Seth Green being fantastic.
I kind of put it hand in hand with another film that I'm not going to mention the name of because it will guarantee get mentioned. But I think this is actually funnier than that film.
Okay, I'm curious to know what that film is in case that's on my list.
I 100% guarantee it will be. But tell us more about why you love Can't Hardly Wait, mate.
Oh, I love this movie. I think what really works for me about this movie is that it's very relatable, I think, particularly to a dude like me. Like our main character in this movie.
You were Seth Green, weren't you? Being a gangster.
No. Is it Ethan Embry? Is that the lead guy? No.
Yeah.
It is? Yeah.
But Ethan Embry is Mark from Empire.
Yes, that's right. He's the lead in this, who also famously is named after the Embry Awards from the Contrarians podcast.
Yes, he is.
But I just think he's so relatable. The way that he pines after Jennifer Love Hewitt. I always think of the scene of her opening the Pop-Tart. And I love this movie. So there you go. That's my number 8.
I need to rewatch it. It's years since I've seen it, but it's super funny. I can't remember the name of the redheaded girl who's sort of the almost co-lead with Embry, but she's fabulous as well.
Yes,
I keep
Clea Duvall.
No, it's not Clea Duvall. She's probably in it because everyone's in this fucking movie.
Oh, yes. No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I get her mixed up with what's the name from That 70s Show.
Yep.
Alrighty, I'm going with a Johnny Depp film.
Definitely not on my list.
Called Crybaby.
Yeah, I as soon as you said Johnny Depp, I knew it was Crybaby. Never would have made my list. I like this film. I don't love it, but tell us why you do.
This is head and shoulders my favourite John Waters film. Better than Hairspray by a million miles as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely adore it. I love the music of it. I love the whole kind of Grease vibe of the Greasers and the Socias in Outsiders parlance. I love you've got John Waters perennials like Ricky Lake in their pre-talk show bullshit when she was still cool. You've got Iggy Pop. You've got, oh my God, it's just so fucking
You know what
cool.
John Waters
It's
movie I
right
think
in
needs to be talked about more?
Pink Flamingos.
No.
And
I'd
Serial
never,
Mum.
Yes, which I'd never. It was a patron of the show that made me watch Serial Mum last year. I can't remember who it was. I apologize, but it was fantastic.
That could be my number 2 Waters film.
It was great.
John Waters is kind of an unsung. He still gets lumped in with the early kind of shock stuff of Pink Flamingos and that Divine era, which have their place. I'm not knocking them. I was a fan back in my teens, but his latter stuff, I think there's some really clever satirical comedy stuff that because he was so fearless and he didn't care about whether the films were popular or not. And so you got some really brave comedy out of him. But I think Crybaby is just, I don't understand why it's not more popular.
Yeah.
Other than the fact it's kind of tarred with the Waters brush, and so it kind of gets lumped in with his more shocky stuff. But it's Johnny Depp, it's Ricky Lake, it's a musical, it's funny. There's nothing overtly shocking in there. It's not fucking Pink Flamingos. I don't understand why it didn't have a resurgence when Depp's career took off. The way some of his earlier stuff did. But I just think it's a great musical. It's super funny. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Alrighty. My number, what am I up to? 7 is right up there next to Clueless for me in terms of what I think is one of the smartest written teen comedies ever. And it's Tina Fey's Mean Girls.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. I love this movie. I think it is just so good. It's so
Did you drag
funny.
this down? Was this higher up your list and you thought you'd lose it? I thought this would be your number 1. Actually, number 2. I thought Clueless would be number 1. I thought this would be number 2.
No. But I do love this movie. I'm very curious for the new Mean Girls, the musical that's coming out soon, which they've for some reason really tried to hide in all the advertising that it's a musical.
Probably
which I don't.
Sucks.
Does it?
I don't know.
I just don't know why you do that. Like, I don't know. We're coming on, like, next year is the 20th
They did a modern. They did a new version of Heathers, and that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I have no expectations whatsoever for Mean Girls.
Well, other than I believe that Tina Fey has still written it. I don't know if she's written any of the lyrics or anything. But I know that her husband is a composer, so I'm curious as to whether they wrote the songs together, perhaps. I haven't seen the trailer, no.
I actually didn't know it was a musical. I've seen the trailer, and there's no indication whatsoever.
No, they really try to hide that, yeah. But yeah.
The trailer's not bad, but it kind of gave me... It brought back memories of Gus Van Sant's Psycho.
Psycho, yeah. It just didn't need to be done.
There is nothing new
from
what you can see from the trailer. It doesn't appear to have a reason for being when it's not like the original is from the 1930s and is in black and white and looks shit. And it's not that old. There is no reason to be remaking something that is still perfectly relatable. My kids all like the original. Kids can... It doesn't feel like a dated film. So why, other than money...
Great cast, great screenplay. That's my number 7, Mean Girls. Over to you, buddy.
Perfect pick. This is a film that I haven't seen in a fair few years, but I really enjoyed it and thought it was unsung at the time. And it's a film called Adventureland.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, man. Great movie. Great pick. Kristen Stewart,
Jesse
one of her best films.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
The kids sort of working over the holidays in a big sort of theme parky sort of thing.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm blanking on the director. Please help me out. Greg Mottola, writer and director. It's Ryan Reynolds before anyone knew who he was, playing the slightly pedo-y older guy in the film. It's just genuinely good. It's a touching comedy. It's almost a comedy drama, from memory.
Yeah, I'd call it a dramedy.
Touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's It's genuinely good. It's got a really nice sort of 70s feel. For me, if I'm picking a Greg Mottola film, I think this is a better film than Superbad. There you go.
Interesting you mention it, because my number 6 next up is Superbad, which
okay.
I feel like a couple of years ago would have been higher on the list. I do think on the last couple of rewatches it's come down a little bit, but I still think that this is a very, very, very funny film. It was a great introduction to who's now kind of a cock, apparently, but Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, fantastic as always. This was kind of his breakout role after Arrested Development, which I was a massive fan of.
That's
Emma Stone, we get what I believe is, from memory, our first sighting of Emma Stone, and she's fantastic in this movie.
God, is it?
I can't think of anything I saw her in before this.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't even remember her in it, but
Yeah, right.
that tracks it. If she is in it, it would have been one of the earliest, so for sure.
Yeah, no, big. I still think this is a very, very funny movie. So, yep, that's my number 6.
Now, as you know, because we talked about it off mic, peek behind the curtains, hashtag. I had completely forgotten about this until we started talking about this topic only earlier today. My next one is going to be a film called Get Over It.
Yeah, I've never seen this film. I don't even know if I've heard of it.
Just listen to this cast list and tell me if you can say why this isn't in the same breath as things that will be higher on our list. Kirsten Dunst.
That's your
Ben
reason.
Foster.
I'm not a fan of Kirsten Dunst.
Fuck, I'm not talking about you in particular and your fucking wrong opinions. Just listen to the list. Kirsten Dunst, who is a big fucking star. Ben Foster. Cisco.
Jesus, wow. This is going
Shane
back.
West. Colin Hanks.
Oh,
Zoe
I
Saldana.
actually love Colin Hanks. Oh, fuck. And you've just reminded me that Orange County should be on my list, and it isn't.
Stop interrupting my list of amazingness. Colin Hanks, Zoe Saldana, Mila Kunis,
Oh, wow.
Swoosie Kurtz, Ed Begley Jr., Martin Short, Carmen Electra, Coolio, and some other people.
That is
presumably a rapper. Yeah,
that's a
whatever.
massive
There's
list.
some other fucking people. It's ridiculous. The film revolves around Ben Foster is kind of slightly nerdy, nebbish kid who is joins the drama club, and they're doing a production of Midsummer Night's Dream because he wants to hook up with his sexy neighbor played by Kirsten Dunst, who is a beautiful angel, and her best friend is Mila Kunis, who is also a beautiful angel, and Ben Foster's mate is Cisco, with or without thongs. I can't remember from memory. But it's a very, very smart... I'm answering my own question about why this wasn't a bigger hit. The whole movie follows the trajectory of Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah.
it's like a play within a play sort of thing. He's performing in the play, but at the same time, the overarching plot of the film kind of mirrors that with elements of Romeo and Juliet. So it's very Shakespearean in that sense, which is probably why a big proportion of the audience kind of missed the joke. I
don't know, man.
Like
10
such a
things I
wanker,
hate about you
I'm
was a big
sounding like a wanker.
Yeah. 10 things I hate about you was big. Like, there's been lots of teen adaptations.
Oh, yeah, but that was very overt. And I think that even people who didn't know the Shakespearean allusions within it, it is what it is.
That's
it's
true.
Still
It still works.
Whereas I think this one kind of maybe, and I'm going back to, when did it come out? 90s or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. 2001. Holy shit, that's not that. 22 years. Fuck, I'm old. Feels like yesterday. I don't think the film in this case worked unless you kind of were in on the joke. I think the Shakespearean allusions, because it's kind of the overarching plot of the film is mirroring the plot of the play, and if you're not familiar with the plot of the play, I think you missed a lot of what this film brought, and it just was like a forgotten teen comedy. But I think it is a lot more than that. It's a lot cleverer than that.
I'll check it out for sure. Well,
It's worth seeing.
My number 5, as mentioned earlier, is Clueless. So we're right back over to you for your number 5.
You're not allowed can't have double ups.
We are with this. This isn't the playlist. The playlist we can't have double apps. This we can. I only made a list of 10, mate.
I've rewritten my list on the fly, taking out shit like Mean Girls and Can't Hardly Wait.
Well, you don't have to do that.
They're not in there anymore.
Well, put one of them here, buddy.
It's too late.
Put one of them here.
It's too late. And now my ordering's all fucked up because I was stealing shit like Clueless early, so you couldn't have it. So the whole fucking thing's a mess now. All right. Fuck it. I'm going to pick Slackers next.
Oh, yes. Great film.
Another unsung one. First thing I think I ever saw Jason Schwartzman in.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this came out before Rushmore. Would that be right?
I think it would have. Yeah. That's my recollection.
Possibly the greatest unsung actor of the last 30 years. Devon Sawa. How the fuck after Final Destination and this, he didn't have this burgeoning career?
Because
of
you know
leading
what,
man roles.
he was too much of a teen heartthrob. He couldn't break through the way Leo did.
He's still a fucking good looking dude.
I know, but the same way that Leo was seen as the pretty boy, that's what Devon Sawa was
Leo's got a
seen
moon
as.
face. He was never going to be an attractive leading man. And yet bizarrely was. Devon Sawa, handsome fucking dude. Still a handsome dude now. He's kind of like a better looking Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
And is relegated to kind of B-movie shit for the last umpteen decades.
Yeah.
But that aside, Devon Sawa, fantastic main character. Best friend, Jason Segel. Everyone fucking loves him.
Yeah.
Jamie King. Laura Prepon. Speaking of hot redheads from That 70s Show.
That's who it was, yes.
Yep. Very funny. Very, very funny film.
Yep.
Concerns three guys, I think. There's a third also, Ran, who's not as famous as Devon Sawa and Jason Segel. But our main guys are kind of sort of slacker college students who... Devon Sawa is trying to get onto Jamie King, and Jason Schwartzman is this creepy as fuck nerdy hall monitor type who is obsessed with her and constantly trying to thwart them. You've got possibly we'll probably do a top 10 needle drops at some point, but there is an amazing musical scene with Ace of Bases. I saw the sign in this, and Jason Schwartzman is just hilariously funny as this creepy guy who's made a hair doll out of hair from this girl that he likes. It's so funny. Yeah. Unsung. And in a little bit of a callback to 80s Days of Yore, does have Getty Watanabe in it.
Yeah.
In a small role.
Yeah.
So there you go. Long Duck Dong makes an appearance.
Nice. All right. Well, my number 4, speaking of Long Duck Dong, is is another John Hughes film. It's the second John Hughes film on my list, but not the last. And it is, I think, the best film featuring Sir Matthew Broderick. It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
All right, cross that off. Good call.
Which is just one of, again, similar to some of the others on this list, not just one of the best teen comedies, one of the best comedies, one of the best films.
One of the best films of the decade.
Just absolutely fantastic. It's such a simple premise. Kid skips school, takes his girlfriend and best friend out, and, you know, the principal tries to track them down. But the way that it's executed, the way it's put together, it feels really poignant. There are some moments in this film that really feel like they have actual gravitas, but it never feels too heavy.
No.
Fantastic cast. They absolutely nail it. Yep. Perfect film. So that is my number 4.
Yeah. Absolutely can't fault it. One of the best films of that decade. Yep. And... sheer perfection on every front. Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. It's so fucking quotable.
Yeah.
You know, don't make me get snooty. Snotty? It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
All right. How can I top that? I don't think I can. Unless I pull forth a Michael Lehman film from the same decade.
Okay.
with my man Christian Slater and the biggest crush of my childhood years, and that is Heathers.
Yeah, I know how much you love this film. It's been a long time since I've seen Heathers. I don't think I've seen Heathers since probably about 98. It's been a very long time. Yeah.
This literally gets trotted out every, I would say, at least once a year. The kids are all obsessed with it now.
Yeah,
and
right.
to my eternal pride, oh my God, nothing, I don't care what awards they win at school. Nothing will make me prouder as a father than that they all refuse to watch the fucking new series. They've seen the trailer and they went, that looks like shit. So I beamed with pride and we watched the original Heathers once again.
Nice.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I know how much
Dark
you love
as
this film.
dark.
It is dark.
So black. It's brilliant.
All right. My number 3 is a movie that I have sung the praises about on this podcast many, many times, so I won't talk too long about it. I think it is the best parody film of all time. It is Not Another Teen Movie, which is so fucking funny. I watch this movie at least once every 6 months. I just get on a random kick where I'm like, I want to watch Not Another Teen Movie. And Nooska's always like, no, you can watch that alone, which I do because I think it's fucking hilarious. It like the way that it encompasses and makes fun of but also shows love to so many of those films that I adore.
It's the very epitome of loving parody.
Molly Ringwald showing up at the end saying fucking teenagers
Amazing.
gets me every time. Melissa Joan Hart starting the slow clap. I love this movie. It's so funny. It will never not be funny to me.
Everything. And the thing I love is it works whether or not you get all the references. So you could come in at this as an 18-year-old who knows nothing about 80s teen comedies.
Yeah.
And it's still a funny movie.
Yeah.
But you can come into it at our age and you've got things like the Varsity Blues whipped cream thing. You've got the Molly Ringwald. You've got all these references. There's a whole another layer.
Yes.
But the film itself, without those references, still fucking works.
It's still hilarious. Well. Yeah.
And that's it doesn't rely on that, unlike so many other things where
whether or not
without
you know,
the fan service, it fails.
That's right. Whether or not you know it's a parody of She's All That, the scene where they're picking her and he's like, oh, come on, she's got overalls and paint on her clothes. She's hideous. That's still funny, whether or not it's a parody of She's All That.
Got a gun. She's got a gun.
Get down. When he's trying to sing a song. Yeah. And even if you don't know that that's a parody of 10 Things I Hate About You, it's still
funny,
hilarious.
but it's so much more funny.
Yeah.
And the opening scene where they're all coming to the 16
into the
candles, where they're all
bedroom.
coming into a room and she's balls deep with the Uber vibrator. Oh my God, that's so funny. I want to go and watch that again now.
Yeah. I might watch it after this. Yeah.
Possibly the only actual teen comedy, leaving aside sort of college ones, which we are kind of nominally including, possibly the only teen comedy funnier, and I'm going back to the heyday of John Cusack, and I'm pulling out a film called Better Off Dead.
Yeah, this is a film that I have very little memory of. I know that I've seen it.
Oh my God, you need to rewatch
I have
it. That's
very
shameful.
vivid memories for some reason of the VHS box. But I don't have strong memories of the film itself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you've reminded me as well that I should have had The Sure Thing on this list because I love The Sure Thing.
Oh, which is that?
That's the one where John Cusack and I forget her name, some uptight chick. Like they're driving across country. She's driving to go see her boyfriend, and he's going because he's heard about this chick that he can definitely fuck. And which is why it's called The Sure Thing. She's a sure thing. And so they kind of hate each other.
Not Demi Moore. It's
Is it Ione Sky? No, it's not Ione Sky.
I was going to say Ione Sky. It's either Ione Sky or the one that I get confused with Ione Sky.
Yeah, I think it's
Jamie
the one
Gertz.
that I can't recall. But either way, it's a great movie.
One of those 80s brunettes.
Yeah, I should have had that on the list. Yeah.
Savage Steve Holland.
Yeah, okay,
But
yeah.
now that you've given me time to fucking IMDb it. Savage Steve Holland, who One Crazy Summer, which was the one with Demi Moore, Better Off Dead, and he had a couple of others.
Yeah.
And he had his own sort of, I think it was him that did this cartooning stuff. And so there were animated cartoons and things, which were the cartoons that Cusack's character did. And that was the same, I think, in both of them. So there's some animation in there as well. So in Better Off Dead, for example, Cusack's a high school student. His girlfriend, who was played by what's her name, the blonde from Nightmare on Elm Street, dumps him for the capture this European skiing champion. Cusack, meanwhile, his family are bonkers. His dad's played by David Ogden Stiers from MASH. His mum is fucking mental and keeps cooking these bizarre things that come to life on the plate and crawl. It's very, very surreal, very funny. You've got Curtis Armstrong, Booger from Revenge of the Nerds, who we love. He's in there. And the general gist of the story is Cusack kind of building up to this skiing showdown against this kind of borderline Nazi European ski champion to win back the heart of his blonde girlfriend. Meanwhile, he's slowly falling in love with the exchange student who's living with the fucking crazy people, neighbors. It's I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is so funny.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch
surreal.
it.
It's and so there's so much stuff that's come out of this film into the zeitgeist. The militant paperboy who is constantly chasing him for an overdue payment for the papers he delivers, and chasing him around, going, "I want my $2." It's even people who haven't seen the film would sort of, "Oh, I know what that is." It's so clever. Such a great film.
Nice. All right. Well, my number 2 is The Breakfast Club, which I think, agree with you, is John Hughes' best film. Massive fan of John Hughes. He's part of the reason that I got into film and everything in the first place. So there you go. That's my number 2. So we're straight back to you.
Since we're including college stuff, can't go past it. Van Wilder.
Yeah, okay. Can I tell
One
you a
of
secret?
the funniest films. If you tell me you've never seen Van Wilder,
I've never seen Van Wilder.
How the fuck do you exist on this planet? Are you a pod person?
It was. I don't want to sound
Can
like
you
our
do
good
me a
friend
favour?
Julio from the Contrarians, but I liked
it's
to
not
be a
long.
contrarian, and it was way too popular. It just didn't.
Yeah, everyone said it was good, so I thought,
Yeah,
I just won't watch it.
yeah, pretty much.
Can you do me a favor? It's not long. It's like 89 minutes or something. Can you just watch it after this record?
Okay, if we
I
finish early enough,
guarantee
I'll
you,
watch it tonight.
it is one of the funniest things you will see.
All right, if we can wrap up in the
100%.
if we can wrap up in the next half hour, I'll watch it tonight. I promise.
Yeah, well, I guess just postpone to next week. I think we can do that.
Yeah. All right. I will watch I'll tell you what. I'll watch it and I'll give you a little mini review at the end of next week's episode on the holdovers.
Nice.
All right.
Love it.
There we go.
I will say no more about it then for risk of spoiling it, but
Okay.
it is one of the funniest films
I
ever
know
made.
that it's in the same vein as my number 1, where, correct me if I'm wrong, is it a bit of a gross out film? Like, I believe I've heard something about it. Are they
Only
glazed
one or two scenes.
donuts
The
or-
overall film, no.
Okay.
The overall film
All
is
right.
just Ryan Reynolds straight out of Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza
Yeah,
Place.
okay. Yeah.
And putting his stamp on the world.
Yeah.
This is the film
Okay.
that kind of when people know that's what his shtick is
Has,
before it was time.
has me saying gross out film, has that given you any kind of indication of what my number 1 might be?
I can predict your number 1. No,
Yeah.
actually, I fucking can't
Okay.
because you said it's not a college.
It's not
film.
college. It's a big homage to John Hughes, which is why I love it so much. It is American Pie. It is the
that college?
resurgence. No. They're high school students. They're trying to get laid. Yeah, they're trying to get laid before prom. That's the whole.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the whole film.
Then in that case, yeah, this I knew would be your number 1.
Yeah.
I got confused.
I love and adore this film so much. I rewatched.
This film is amazing.
I rewatched the entire franchise about 2 weeks ago. And my memory is that the rest of the films were good. I remember really liking American Reunion. The rest
They're not
fucking
good, but I
suck. The rest is so
I don't
bad.
hate any of them. I don't even hate fucking Bandcamp because it's got the cute chick that I have a soft spot for. But one and two,
Yeah.
Head and shoulders above all the rest.
100%. And
That's a given.
Looking back,
but I don't hate the wedding one.
Yeah, looking back, are there parts of this film that are kind of icky by today's standards? Yeah, 100%. It's like,
what's icky?
I mean, he live streams Shannon Elizabeth
Oh,
getting
fuck
naked
off
without
with your
her consent.
fucking woke SJW bullshit.
I'm just
it's
saying,
not
it's-
endorsed
it's
by
a-
the
it's a-
film. It is depicted.
Oh.
It is not endorsed, and that is
Well,
a huge fucking difference.
I actually disagree on rewatch. I actually think it kind of is endorsed. There's never any consequence or punishment or anything. It's, I don't know, it kind of is endorsed to a certain extent.
No.
But I'm okay with it because Shannon Elizabeth is, and I think I
And did you say there's no punishment?
yeah. Well, okay, he comes
You
in
don't
his
think
shorts in
he's
front of
ridiculed for the
everyone.
rest of the film for prematurely ejaculating twice?
Yeah. I think I actually said this to you and maybe some others. It might have even been in the Countdown patron group chat when I rewatched this. I said, I think that Shannon Elizabeth in American Pie is the prettiest a woman has ever been. I think she is so attractive in this film.
Insanity. Insanity.
But
She's not ugly, but that's insanity.
I love it. It's a cast of scallywags that somehow came together. Some of them went on to be bigger names. You know, Chris Klein had a bit of a career for a little while. In fact, I should have had Election on this film, which is one of my favorite films. But anyway.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
I should have had that too.
There you go. American Pie is my number one. Over to you for your number one.
Yep.
Let's top it off.
I'm going to go with Dead Man on Campus. There you go. Out of the left
Right.
field.
Yeah, that is out of left field. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I haven't seen it in a long time either, but I remember thinking it was very good. And it's all out of order, so who cares? I definitely prefer it to Orange County or Loser, which were the other two options.
I really
So-
love Orange County. I should have had Orange County on this list. I'm a big
I
Colin
don't
Hanks fan.
dislike them,
Yeah.
but Dead Man on Campus, I remember really liking just the premise of similar to Slackers,
Yeah.
where you've got college students who are kind of finding loopholes, bending the rules, and they discover that if your roommate kills themselves, you get an automatic A for everything, and you just sail through to the next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And so, on that premise, dark as it is, they go on an escapade to try and kind of fake a dead roommate, which
Yeah.
I just think, and it's Tom Everett Scott.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I wasn't a mile off. Oh my god! And really, fuck. That's how long since I need to rewatch this. It's also Mark Paul Gosselaar,
Yeah, right.
who I absolutely love. Not because I'm too old to have really been into the whole Saved by the Bell bullshit, but other than liking the fucking female members of that cast. But I'm a huge fan of the TV show that he did with Thingo, fucking little fella. Fuck me, I can't remember shit today. I've had too many martinis. Franklin and Bash, which I think is one of the greatest legal TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm a huge
Nice.
fan of Mark Paul Gosselaar. I need to rewatch this film because I didn't realize he was in it. But yeah, he and Tom Everett Scott basically come together to get a free pass through the year by faking a suicidal roommate.
Yeah.
And it is, in my slightly hazy memory, pretty fucking dark.
Yeah, I've got to rewatch it.
in
My
terms of
memory
its
was really enjoyed
they
it.
go out trying to find suicidal roommates
Yeah.
and then maneuver them into killing themselves. I think from memory, Paul and Wayne on the Countdown put up something recently about
Oh, movies that wouldn't get made today?
movies that couldn't get made today.
Yeah.
Trying to get a suicidal roommate and then convince them to kill themselves. Again, yeah, I don't think something that could get over the line today.
Yeah.
But there you go. And as with almost all teen comedies from the 90s, got Alison Hannigan in it.
Of course it does. Well, there you
Because why wouldn't you?
go. So that's our big crossover. Both
and
of our
Jason
number
Segel.
ones
Oh my
have Alison
god,
Hannigan.
I need to rewatch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Jason Segel, and he's so far down the cast. And Linda Cardellini.
Oh, I fucking love Linda Cardellini.
I know, she's amazing. And they're so far down the list. This must be. This is what year? Fucking year is this? This is like
that cast has got to be 2001.
this is. No, 98.
98. Okay.
Which probably explains why they're all.
Low down on the list.
Well,
yeah.
let's face it. We all love Tom Everett Scott, but his career can
So
be measured
that was
in a thimble.
before Freaks and Geeks then, because Linda Cardellini and Jason Segel, I feel like that was 99, and that was when they kind of became names.
No. Freaks and Geeks is mid-90s, surely.
You sure? Yeah. Was
99 to 2000.
There you go.
All right.
I know my
this
TV
predates
shows,
Freaks
man.
and Geeks. Jesus
Yeah, that's crazy.
Christ. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I shouldn't have doubted you. You and your 90s TV shows. I'll weigh in when it's 70s and 80s. I'll stick in my fucking lane.
Well, there you go. Next week, we will be checking out The Holdovers, new Paul Giamatti, Alexander Payne joint, and...
May or may not be the best film of the year. Whatever.
Oh, now that's got me really excited.
I said may or may not.
And a sneaky little bonus review of Van Wilder, apparently. But in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at wewatchthething.com or wewatchthething@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. I nearly said Twitter for a minute there, all under the handle at wewatchthething.
Gonna get ya.
If you want to help support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/wewatchthething. We're recording 2 new episodes of The Hunt for the Perfect Album tonight, which of course has also started rolling out on the main feed, so I hope you're enjoying that. And we'll catch you next week.
You're all officially time travelers now. You're listening to episodes that were recorded months ago.